Hit the intro.
Hey, everybody, this is Fernando from the Rollback Podcast, and today we are recording the 11 count where we talk about wrestling and bitch about today's current news. Eddie, what are we talking about today?
We got a few things. We're gonna do a few things different. There's like four news things I want to mention, and then we're actually gonna talk about conspiracy theories. It's different. It's a little different than what we were used to. Uh, first
Let's
in the
do it.
news. First in the news. You want to go AEW or WWE? It's just two pieces each.
Let's go to the B company first, AEW.
All right. So Seth Rollins might be injured.
He is injured.
Well, okay, no, it's
A
not if.
sprained MCL.
Yes, but they're not sure if he's relinquishing the title or not. Um, at about 7, so we're recording this, folks, on Monday at 6 p.m. our time. Raw starts in about an hour. So we don't know what's going on. We don't know if this is a relinquish the title situation or like what's going on. I don't know enough about sprained MCLs. Can you wrestle on that? Is that not doable or what's going on?
So your knee's made up of three ligaments:
Mhm.
the MCL, ACL, and I think it's PCL.
Uh-huh.
I know the ACL is meant for like juking left to right. I think the other ones are moving for forward.
Uh-huh.
Um, if he's hurt, then he's gonna be out for at least 6 months.
So there's no way he could wrestle on like if it's because you said it's a torn or was it like
Sprained. I think it's sprained. I think at most it could be torn.
so if it's sprained, he could wrestle if he rests the next like 2 months?
In theory.
Okay. I mean, Roman wrestled defended his title 3 times last year. I think they could give Seth a break for a couple months. And
You know? I mean, he is a working champion. Fucking Roman Reigns doesn't do shit.
yeah. Someone posted online that they should put the world title for the prize for the Royal Rumble, have Punk win it, and then have Rollins challenge Punk for the title at Mania. Yeah, I feel like that's bullshit, but what do you think?
Mm, I think it will be CM Punk versus Rollins in a perfect world, but
Mhm.
it's just really if Rollins is not hurt by then.
Is Owens on Raw or SmackDown? I don't remember.
Kevin Owens?
Yeah.
He's SmackDown.
Hmm. That
He
could be
moved
a
to
good match.
SmackDown.
Well, no, if something's wrong with Seth, their backup would probably be Drew versus Punk. That's the part of the backup plan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Rumbles, who do you think? Because the Rumble is this weekend, right? For us, it's in 6 days or 5 days, actually, technically. Who do you think is going to win?
Damian Priest. Oh wait, he already has a blown fucking title shot.
Has he? He hasn't cashed it in yet, has he?
No, but it's kind of pointless right now. Like no one gives a shit anymore about his fucking briefcase.
They should have cashed it in at like Survivor Series. I think that would have been a good time. And then he loses the cash in, and then fucking Judgment Day implodes. Oh no, Judgment Day is making way too much money. They're not gonna implode them.
He should have cashed in a long time ago.
You're not wrong, but I just think that they were wanting to book Judgment Day too strong that they don't want to take a chance.
Yeah, makes sense.
But all
It's
right, so
just he can't cash in on Roman without losing.
he he could make the WrestleMania match a fatal four way. Rock versus Cody versus Roman versus Priest. Oh my God!
Yeah, something everyone wants to see.
And Cody doesn't get to finish the story for a second year in a row.
He
Imagine.
better finish that goddamn story.
What if not?
He had
Oh,
fucking people invested for almost 2 years.
that man, I hope he would leave WWE if they still fuck him over. But no. But yeah, so Rumble wins. Who do you got?
Uh, do you think Cody wins a second year in a row?
I don't think he needs it. That's the thing. I think Punk wins it.
Ah,
I think Punk wins it,
you
and
think
Cody.
Punk needs it?
I don't think Punk needs it. I think Punk wins because think about it. There's a few people that have never won a Rumble. It sounds weird. Like Jericho never won a Rumble. That sounds weird.
Hmm.
Edge won two. Cena won fucking three. I think Punk
Triple
wins.
H has won the Rumble.
Huh?
Triple H.
Didn't he win two? Didn't he win three?
I think he won two.
He won when he returned.
Right?
Angle never won.
Yeah.
That's another weird one. Angle never won a Rumble. That one's weird. Um,
Also, according to Dave Meltzer, he's never had a fucking 5-star match.
which is stupid. At least his match with Taker at No Way Out '06 is a 5-star match. Like that's not a debate. That's a fact of life, Dave. I'm sorry. Um, but no. So maybe Cody. I think Punk wins it though. Punk wins it. Cody wins the Chamber, to overcome the odds and like finish the story. I think Cody gets eliminated by the Bloodline at the Rumble.
Maybe.
Or
What outlier do you think would win? McIntyre? Do you think McIntyre would win?
I think the biggest outlier that I would love would be Gunther actually.
Hmm? Yeah.
Imagine Gunther goes after Rollins and unites the IC title and world title again. But no, God damn, I would not mind Gunther. He should win the world title, if not this Mania, next Mania for sure. Like he's too good. Have you seen him wrestle?
I mean, yeah, he's a fucking master technician.
No, but not just that. He's so fucking brutal. Like he's the only dude that could win a match with a chop and it looks legit.
His chops look very hurtful.
Fucking painful, dude. His hands the size of frying pans. Jesus. And he just had a son, so he's got something to prove.
Now he's gonna chop him.
Oh God. That kid, fuck if that kid goes to the WWE, that would be terrifying.
Did you eat your broccoli? No. Sa.
No, dude. I always thought it would be cool. What if it comes down to Cody and Punk, right? This is my booking head going on. Cody Punk, they're squaring up. The bloodline interferes to eliminate Cody. Punk wins. Yeah. And then the
Did,
next night,
did Cody and Punk ever cross paths when Cody was first in WWE?
they had a few. I think they may have had a match or two, but they didn't have a big storyline. I don't remember that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, what if Cody wins? I mean, Cody loses because of bloodline interference. Punk wins. Next night on Raw, you got Rollins, you got Roman out, and Roman's like, "All right, are you gonna challenge me?" Punk comes out and says, "I made a deal," and he shakes Paul's hand, and he's like, "I win the Rumble, but I don't challenge you. But don't worry, you and me, we're gonna cross paths eventually. I want Rollins."
You think Punk goes corporate?
I think that's more interesting than
Eh,
like this resistance.
The devil may care guy goes corporate? Maybe.
I think that's more interesting because, like, dude, he hasn't evolved as a character in a while.
Let
Like,
me guess, you're the best in the world.
yeah, exactly. Like, fucking, what else do you got? He goes. He needs to go heel. I think. Have him be heel and just face in Chicago, and that's it.
Has he wrestled on Raw or SmackDown at all?
No, no, he's only wrestled, I think, live events.
Because
He
I've seen the clips of the Dom match, and
he was fine.
he botched a couple moves on that one.
Oh shit, really? Oh,
Mhm.
hey, do you think they finally bring out Jade Cargill at the goddamn Women's Royal Rumble because they haven't fucking mentioned her in like 3 months?
I think so.
Dude,
I think it's the only logical way.
I want to know if they regret signing her.
Why?
Dude, they haven't done anything with her. Like, I
I mean, they
wonder if
haven't
they're
done
like,
anything with her. It's WWE that hasn't done anything.
no, but like, I would imagine if she's good, like, if she's good to go, they would debut her. Like, they'd want to show her off. But instead, like, they have gone radio silence, dude. I don't, correct me if I'm wrong. Have you seen promos for her? Because I have not heard shit.
Mm. Mm.
I mean, I'm wondering because, and I'll dog on AEW for a second. They protected her a lot by feeding her good wrestlers that could wrestle around her. I still think she
Mm.
should have stayed with AEW, but they fed her people that could carry her in a match.
Well, she's not the first. She won't be the last. I
No,
mean,
definitely.
you have Brian Pillman Jr. in NXT right now.
Yeah. Isn't he the North American champion?
Uh, no, he's not.
I sworn he
But
was.
from what I hear, he's doing pretty good. His name is Alexis King.
I'm surprised they don't want to keep the Pillman name. Like, there's legacy in there. Like, you'd be like, then again, Cody already has the I'm a dude with my dad never did shtick. So, yeah.
It kind of just reminds me of King from Ready to Rumble.
You know what? That fits. I would believe it if that.
I am the king, and I will rule you.
I would believe it if that was actually the reason why they called him Alexis King. I would fucking believe it. Yeah, so that's WWE news. Just the Rollins injury and the Rumble predictions. Two other things, minor things from AEW. Did you hear about Sting's last match?
No, what happened?
So it's going to be Sting, instead of it being Sting versus Darby Allin, which I assumed it would be, it's going to be Sting and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks. And people were like, that's kind of fucked up. The Young Bucks are inserting themselves. Apparently, it was Sting's idea. He wanted the Young Bucks. He's like, I think this is the
I
best.
want them young. I want them hot.
Ugh.
All right, Sting. It's a little weird.
I mean, I think Sting believes that they can carry him.
Mm.
Because Sting's over 60 years old, and this is a retirement match.
All
Hopefully,
right, Ric Flair Jr.
you got him. No, Sting is a much better wrestler at his current age than Ric Flair was at his current.
Yeah.
Come on.
But he doesn't know when to hang it up.
Well, he's hanging it up at Revolution. It might be for the tag titles, but I don't know.
Next thing you know, on NWA TV, guess who's back? Sting.
I will retire when you pry these belts from my cold dead hands. Darby Allin stabs him from behind.
I came to wrestle you, EC3, for the title.
Is that an actual promo that he cut?
I don't know,
Oh.
but I don't know. I
Ugh.
think Sting is gonna hang it up.
I
What
agree.
I do think is funny is that I think he just went to WWE to get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and that was pretty much it.
Well, I think he was kind of hoping that the run would be better, and it just fucking what his fifth match. He wrestled WrestleMania. He wrestled twice on Raw, got injured, and then he wrestles Rollins at Night of Champions and gets his neck fucking broken.
I just hate that he fucked up 2K. Because now we don't get any Sting characters in fucking any of the 2K games. Same thing with Jericho. Jericho moving over to AEW. Won't get any Jericho in the games anymore. My favorite, I think the game that had the best roster for me
Mm-hmm.
was probably 2K19. Because it had pretty
And
much everybody.
well, it was the last. It was the last game pre AEW where they took out their fucking talent.
Yeah. It had like all the Chris Jerichos, Lionheart, Codebreaker.
Couldn't you, Matt, just use the create a character in the CAW?
I mean, you can, but it's not the same.
That's fair.
Um,
Voice either.
It had all the Stings, fucking blonde hair Sting, Wolfpack Sting, um, regular Sting, old Sting.
How many stings can you name, Bernie?
I think it was like 4 or 5 Stings that were in the fucking game.
Jesus.
Uh,
I never played games as much as you did. At least not with like 2K19. I liked it. I just never had the free time.
Kurt Angle, Kurt Angle. They had Kurt Angle, hair Kurt Angle, and old Kurt Angle.
I was about to ask, what haircut angle or not haircut angle?
Like which one I preferred?
No, I was gonna ask if they had Kurt Angle with
Oh,
hair.
they had 3 of them. The one where he came back and he was wearing those weird
Oh,
gloves.
yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Um, Wrestling Machine Kurt Angle and hair Kurt Angle.
It's unfortunate they never had Perk Angle. That guy would have been like a 99 for sure.
I mean, my favorite Kurt Angle is probably Wrestling Machine Kurt Angle.
Well, yeah, but that was the one where he had the longest stretch. But yeah, his matches were always awesome. His SummerSlam match with Lesnar, fucking awesome. And his match with Mysterio, now that I think about it, was also great.
He had a really good intensity.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure being on all kinds of painkillers will do that for you.
Yeah, that's true.
But so Sting's last match, and the only other thing, do you know about Hook? Or how much do you know about Hook?
I know he wrestled for the AEW Championship recently.
And it was, I would say, not necessarily a star-making match, but a fucking good match that they can build off of, hopefully soon.
I saw that nasty bump that he took on the announce table.
Oh, he took a worse one on the edge of the apron. He took a
Do
power
you
bomb.
think that was a botch, or do you think that was planned? Do you think that was a work?
No, no, I think it was all planned. I think the idea, you remember how Jeff Hardy wrestled Undertaker in a ladder match and he just got the shit kicked out of him the whole time?
Yeah,
But he kept coming back and getting up and being like, I ain't dead yet.
yeah.
They were trying to do that with Hook, and I think it worked because like Hook got the
Oh,
shit kicked out of him. He kept getting
did
up.
you see the Mark Tony Khan go on X, well, Twitter now known as X, um, and
Oh,
he was
yeah.
sorry going after Jinder Mahal for some reason.
Yeah. Well, he got annoyed, and I'm not condoning this. I don't think he should be engaging on social media, but
You should. I mean, I get it. He's a fan, but dude, you're the owner of the fucking company.
I mean, and it's nuts also though, because a bunch of the wrestlers actually had his back on Twitter. They were like, fuck you, send Hook. Like to the fans, or like, because it was tribalism, man. They were going back and forth. Not just Jinder, but wrestling fans, Eric Bischoff sounded off, and all these other people.
I think Tony Khan gets very butthurt about these things.
I think he's very passionate, but I think he needs
They're
to.
being nice.
I am. I am. He needs to pick and choose when to respond.
You sound like a parent excusing their kid for fucking tearing up a classroom and throwing a desk across the fucking room.
No, if my
You know
kid,
what?
if that
He's
was,
very passionate. He's very passionate when it comes to these things.
look, if Tony Khan was my son, I would straight up tell him, get the fuck off of Twitter. Like, stop. You are embarrassing us.
No good has ever come from Twitter. And then Jinder Mahal just turned it around and made it
What
a
the fuck is
fucking
Hook?
thing for Raw.
Yeah, he's like, who the fuck is Hook? Tune in on Raw. But again, the Hook match versus Joe was at least good. I think Hook is a legit future star. Like he has
I
the,
think he is.
huh?
I think he is.
Yeah, he's got the look, the way he
I
carries.
think I think he's gonna I don't know, dude. I think he's suffering from the same thing that Taz suffered from. But I think Taz had better mic skills than his kid. Because I don't think Hook has any fucking mic skills.
I think Hook would benefit from having a manager, man. Like if
Exactly.
like Lesnar's
But it's
not
like,
giving him a mic.
who are they gonna put as his manager? Because I mean, from all intents and purposes, he's by himself.
It could be his dad. I wouldn't be against that. Or like Don Callis. Like Don Callis elevates.
Fuck no, I fucking hate Don Callis. And there's a difference. There's a difference because you hate Paul Heyman, but
Yeah.
because he's good.
Uh-huh.
Don Callis, I think, fucking blows dick
Okay.
as a manager.
All right. Let me rephrase what I said. Not Don Callis, that guy.
And hold on, nothing against people that think blowing dick is awesome. Go for it. It's just very ugly to look at. Have you seen one? It's ugly.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. I kind of got sidetracked and I
Are you
really tried.
high? Be honest. Are you high right now?
No,
Do I need to call your sponsor?
no.
Does Mark from HR need to call you again?
Mark needs to stop fucking trying to trap me in his office and molest me.
I've I've seen the videos. He was not trying to molest you.
I don't know. He fucking blocked the door. It's a little
You
weird.
punched him in the face.
He blocked the door. Let me
He wasn't
leave.
blocking the door. He was trying to open it for you.
That's what he wants you to think.
He always opens the door for a lady.
With his pants off?
Sometimes with his pants off. Yes. I don't know where the fuck we're going with this.
Fucked up.
Oh God. Okay, so that's the news. Now, here's the conspiracy theories I want to talk about, and we can start from like we'll go from the top and work our way down. Just give your opinion. I'm just going to tell you what the conspiracy is and why people think it.
Okay.
We're going to start with the tamest one, the lightest one. Okay.
Okay.
Chris Benoit is innocent.
Fuck off.
I'm not joking. This is actual.
I know. No, yeah. I've seen like Facebook pages and shit where like it's like it's Kevin Sullivan. Kevin
Yeah, that's what
Sullivan
people
did it.
think did it.
I'm like, and then I know that there's like one thing where they're like, listen to the the call that Chavo talks about. Like, it's not Chris. It's not Chris. He's being held against his will.
No, I can't believe it, but people actually think that Kevin Sullivan murdered Chris, Nancy, and their son David. Like I don't understand why.
I hate people.
I mean, people are stupid in general, Freddie. That's not new.
That's just really stupid. Really fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's the first one. Number two.
Wait, hold on. You think Chris Benoit did it, right?
Yes. Who the
Okay.
fuck?
Okay, just
No.
make it sure.
I remember at the time I was in sixth or seventh grade, and I was like, maybe someone broke in and it was a murder. That I was fucking 12, and like,
Well, I do you not do you remember the tribute show?
yeah, I saw the tribute show. I
So
remember
did
Vince,
I. I remember tuning in because it was Raw.
but remember Vince had
Dead.
died a few weeks
Yeah,
earlier.
he they did that whole sketch of him being in the limo and it exploding. And then I remember tuning into Raw and Vince is there in the middle of the ring and he's like, "Tonight will be a tribute show for Chris Benoit, the one of the most technical wrestlers I'd ever known in my life."
Oh, dude, and I remember the next day as all the shit was coming out, I my mom told me about it or whatever on the news, and I watched ECW the next night just to see what would happen, and it opened with Vince being like, "We will never mention Chris Benoit ever again."
Well, remember when like the whole thing was steroids made him do it?
Dude, I remember that, and I remember CNN fucked up, and I remember that they had John Cena. He had torn his pec, I believe, and but they had him on the show, right?
Oh yeah.
And they're like, "Have you ever done steroids?" And they clip it for him to say like, "I won't say I never have, but you'll never be able to prove it." And WWE sued them, and they had to release the full clip of him saying, "Absolutely not, never."
Mm.
That's the one time I was like, "You sacks of shit."
Hey
Yeah,
man, news stations are fucked up. They'll do anything for a rating.
I mean, like they knew what they were doing. There's a big difference between condensing a quote and completely misrepresenting the quote. Like there's
Yeah.
a big fucking difference between the two. It's like
Yeah, because I mean they're just making it seem like he fucking did it.
yeah. Well, like there's a real good quote from Giannis. I want to say the player from the Bucks. He led them to a title, right? The NBA championship. And
Uh-huh.
the following season, they didn't even make it to the playoffs, I think. And they asked him, "Do you think it was a waste of a season?" And the quote that they said was, do you think Michael Jordan, when he didn't make the playoffs, those were wastes of seasons?" That was the quote that got like blown up and he got a bunch of hate. The full quote was that no, because you get experience and you learn what not to do. Think of Michael Jordan. He had a lot of seasons where he didn't make the playoffs. Were those a waste of time? No, he used those to better himself and become a better player, and now he's the GOAT. That's what I want to try to do.
Uh-huh.
They,
Yeah, that's true.
they
I
mis-
mean, that happens all the time, dude. Like people always misconstrue shit.
yeah, all the fucking time. Um,
That's because I'm downstairs, so it's very quick.
all right. Um,
What's the second one?
all right. Number two of seven. I don't get this. Roman Reigns faked cancer so that way people
Wow.
cheer him. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
That the WWE were in on it. They faked it. And the evidence supposedly is the fact that he didn't lose any weight and that he filmed his role in
Hey
Hobbs
man,
and Shaw.
steroid, come on.
People think that Reigns faked cancer,
Wow,
which, like, where do you, how, like, how do you think that that's legit?
that's a wild take.
I mean, I get wrestling's like it's scripted, right? Like people go off, oh, I'm injured, but they're taking time off, right? Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like cancer is like pushing it just a little bit.
No, Vince did want to have a kid with his daughter.
Oh, fuck, that's true, actually. I forgot about that storyline. Then he wanted Shane to be the father, and Stephanie had to shoot down both, you fucking lunatic.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know. I think I don't know. Is there any like points, like talking points where they're like, yeah, this here's my proof why.
The talking points are legitimately just that it looked like Roman Reigns didn't lose any weight, that he looked completely fine throughout the entire time he was away, and that he filmed that movie role in Hobbs and Shaw. Like he
Was
showed,
that during his cancer?
yeah, it was while he was gone, he filmed that role. They're like, he didn't lose any weight, he didn't lose any hair, he didn't lose any muscle definition. He looks exactly the same during those like 4 months that he was away. Which it's possible that like the leukemia was it leukemia?
Maybe he had a wig on.
Or maybe, I mean, dude, it's entirely possible that when the cancer came back, let me see what kind it was. But
It
it's
was
entirely
leukemia.
it was leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
It's entirely possible that it was a small percentage, but he still had to take time away because of the radiation treatments and the well, what's the other thing? It's radiation and what's the other thing?
I don't know what the other thing is.
It's like where they anyway, it's possible like he had to step away because the radiation treatments were going to make him weak. I don't
Maybe.
I
I
don't
think it's that. I think he did have to step away because, I mean, he's going to be going through cancer treatments. Can't really fucking wrestle or do anything physical when you're puking your guts out.
Well, not just that, dude. Like it makes your bones brittle. It makes you like it hurts. Like your body breaks down because you're killing fucking cells in your system. But anyway, yeah. So that's number two. Number
That's a
three,
lot.
onto lighter things, slightly lighter things. Um, Brock Lesnar shot on the Undertaker, legitimately knocked his ass out to win the streak.
Uh,
Paul
now,
Heyman, I don't think it's true either, but Paul Heyman fed the rumor. Did you see that one?
yeah, I've seen the Inside the Ropes where he's like, and the Undertaker found out the hard way when you cross the beast incarnate. Now,
Bro,
I'm not saying that's what happened, but
yeah. Uh, I wonder if Taker had, I'm sure he didn't. He didn't have a problem with Paul making him look like a bitch. But yeah, when you take liberties with Brock Lesnar, ask Undertaker what happens when you take liberties with
ask Randy Orton what happens when you take liberties with
Brock
Brock
Lesnar.
Lesnar.
Ask John Cena what happens when you take liberties with Brock Lesnar. And Triple H, and I think Brock.
Talk about his shoot interview.
Dude, I remember, did you ever see, do you remember that time that Lesnar almost knocked out Braun Strowman?
Oh yeah. Well, he didn't almost knock him out, but he did give him a nice little love tap to
Dude,
remind him who the fuck he is.
dude, you saw the sweat come off his head when the impact happens.
Oh, that was a fucking that probably wasn't even a hard punch or like his hardest.
Oh no, I
That was
think
probably like 60%.
if that, it was not a malice. It was more like chill the fuck out or else.
Yeah, it was more it was just like you need to fucking slow it down.
Well, do you know the story about Taker and Batista at WrestleMania 23?
Mm-mm.
So at 23, and it's in Batista's book, you can read it. But so it was their first big stadium show in a really long time. I think for the first time since like WrestleMania 19, they had a big stadium show.
Uh-huh.
So Batista was nervous. He's like, "Holy fuck! I've never wrestled in front of like 80,000 people."
Oh
So
yeah, because 20 was in Madison Square Garden, 21
21
was in the Staples Center, 22 was in the AT&T Center, which I think is the hockey arena.
in Chicago, yes,
Yeah.
that was the Staples
Oh
Center.
yeah.
So he was nervous, right? So him and Undertaker are going at it during the match, and you see it in the early beginning. He's hitting Taker, but he's not pulling his punches.
Oh.
Like he's hitting him too hard. So he gets him to the corner, and Taker says, "Do I owe you money?" Like he's like, "Slow the fuck down." So Batista throws him back into the corner, hits him for the full body shot. Like bah. And Taker at that point was like, "All right, I give you a warning. I'm gonna hit you now." So Batista comes in. Taker just hits him with a punch. Normally Taker like dives down with his punch, right?
Yeah.
Like boom.
Or he takes them off
Yeah.
when he
No, not
throws
with
it.
this one. Just straight up shoots him in the head, and Batista's like, all right, my bad, my bad.
Well, I mean, that's what it takes sometimes. A lot of times it takes like a fucking hit to make you be like, oh shit, like
Slow
I'm
down.
going too hard.
Yeah. Well, like Shane was famous for like throwing potatoes, and guys would have to knock him the fuck out to like,
Yeah, I heard the story of Chris Jericho
yeah.
where he's like Shane was fucking he was hitting me and I fucking nailed his ass with a I think he kicked him.
I don't remember, but I know there's multiple. I know Angle mentioned a story once where he just clocked him right back. I know that. I know that
You
one.
know,
I think it might have been the King of the Ring match when he clocked him. I'm not sure if it was that match though.
I
Um,
mean, it's normal. I mean, the guy is fucking not taking anything off his punches. You have to remind him, hey, this is fucking stage, bro.
yeah, you're not wrong. Well, like one bad punch can break your orbital bone and you're out for 3 months. And
Yeah, or you get a concussion.
yeah, well, also especially at the time, I don't think they had PTO. Like, hey, I'm injured, but I'm still gonna get paid.
Yeah.
What's the name? The guy that came in with Sable to the WWE, Mark Merrow, he had the first guaranteed contract. Everyone else, your ass is gonna wrestle or you're not being paid.
Oh,
Um,
really? Mark Miro had a fucking guaranteed contract?
he was the
Oh,
first guy to get a guaranteed contract, and everyone in the locker room was pissed because it was the first time WWE stole a top guy from WCW. Well, top guy. All
they
right, next
really just took him for Sable.
one. Probably, and Sable sold, man. But okay, so next rumor, number 4 out of 7. So Bret Hart alleges that Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon were gay lovers.
Jesus Christ.
The thing is, I don't know. Like, I heard the interview and he sounded serious. Like, he wasn't being like joking, like, man, they love each
I
other.
don't think I've ever heard Bret Hart say a joke.
I don't think I've ever seen Bret Hart smile.
He's
Hey,
like Sean, he lost a smile.
oh God. Uh, oof. But yeah. So Michaels and McMahon are gay. I'm gonna say no. I don't think there's any truth to this.
I think it's a hard no.
I think they were close because like Brett says, like they were always in Vince's office hanging out and doing stuff, and maybe they were doing some,
I think Vince was just trying to keep Michaels from fucking going over the edge.
I think you're right. I don't know. I don't think there's any truth to this one, but that's number
Like, how
four.
many times was Michaels doing something that Vince was like, fuck?
Let's see. There was the time he wore those short shorts, stuffed in with socks to make his junk look big, and like rubbed his crotch in Jared's face. I remember that one.
Or or even doing the DX press conference.
Oh yeah, we will no longer say meat, 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 or meat, except for
Watch your fucking mouth.
you
Mm.
know what's the
But
one?
Vince loved it. No, but I mean, there was plenty of times where, if you watch the Shawn Michaels biography, like Vince talks about, like, I mean, there's plenty of times where like guys have to help him, like, to his feet.
Sean?
Yeah,
I believe it.
but it's funny that he never got to that Jeff Hardy point
No, well, I
at
think
Bound for Glory.
wasn't it Hard Justice? Or no, it was Victory
Oh, it
Road.
was Bound for Glory.
No, it was Victory Road.
Was it?
Victory Road 2011.
That was Bound for Glory.
No, dude, it would have been worse. Bound for Glory to the Russell. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's their top pay-per-view.
Um,
And I remember Bischoff had to come out and be like, "Hey,
hit him hard way.
yeah,
But they do you know about how Triple H and Shawn didn't talk for a year?
yeah." Because after everything blew up after WrestleMania 14, um, it was after WrestleMania 14, but
I think it was
him
after.
and Sean had a falling out.
It was a
Like,
no, yeah, it was a while after Shawn. Because remember, Shawn was like commissioner for a little bit and all this.
yeah, and Sean motherfucked Triple H,
Yeah.
and Triple H motherfucked him back.
It was the same night of the simulcast. Now I remember, it was right before WrestleMania X7. So it was the same night that they did the simulcast with Nitro.
Yeah,
Vince and Shane are out in the rings, right, respectively. In Vince's office is Triple H, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, and a handful of other top guys. Like it's like, oh, it's a big deal. Like you need to see this. Um, Shawn was like strung out, like passing out on Vince's desk, and Taker's like, "Can you fucking believe this?" So Triple H ratted him out to Vince, and Vince fired him. Like, I'm done. I'm tired of you. And Sean blamed Hunter for that. Like, you can stick up for me, bitch. I've been sticking up for you for years. But
Yeah, Triple H had Sean's back like for a long time. I mean, he is one of the he is one of the perpetrators of the Montreal Screwjob
yeah, at the very
because they both. I think I want to say it's fair that both of them said if Brett won't do business, then we'll do business for him.
yeah. I mean, Triple H. Say what you will, but the man, and I will say plenty about Triple H, but he did have an eye for like business as far as like, hey man, it's him or us. I pick us.
Yeah, Triple H was very diehard WWE.
No.
Like he even gave up guaranteed money at WCW and took less money coming to WWE.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think also though he knew that he would never be a top guy with WCW, WWF. Vince had a daughter. He saw an opening.
Oh my god.
I will not let that Jack die. But speaking of WCW, only three left. This one, William Regal shot on Goldberg to make him look bad. Goldberg alleges that Regal took liberties with him. Regal says that he was told to have a 6 minute competitive match with Goldberg. Goldberg says that no, like it's supposed to be another squash. Regal even says at one point, like, I can't punch myself. Like I'm giving this guy direction. He's not doing
Yeah.
shit. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I've seen the interview. I don't think Regal went bad on Goldberg. I don't think he went into business for himself. I think he was told like to have a 6 minute match.
Yeah.
And 6 minutes isn't a long time.
No. But so supposedly, and Regal said this, I think in the same interview we both saw it. He says, I was told to have a competitive match. I won't say by who. And afterwards, when I'm getting yelled at, the dude is standing right fucking next to me. The guy that told me have a 6 minute competitive match, and he's not saying shit. And I'm not the type of person that's gonna be like, well, he told me. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take my lumps. I'm a professional. All right, fine. It's my fucking fault then.
Well, yeah, because I mean, Goldberg was the up and coming hot thing in WCW, um, and I mean, yeah, he's gonna be pissed. He's gonna have those prima donna moments like Hulk Hogan. But I think that's all top guys. I think all top guys have that moment every once in a while.
I really wish I could hear some stories of Undertaker's tantrums. I've never heard anyone say anything bad.
You know,
And
I don't. I would. I know I said everyone. I don't think Undertaker ever had tantrums like that.
see, I think you're right. That's the thing, man. I've never heard anything negative about Undertaker, and I wish I could hear something because it's like he was this infallible person. I mean, cool if that's true, good, but like I've never heard anything bad about him.
I think he's like Sting. He was a fucking guy for the company. He just didn't want to be. He was a team player.
Oh, you know what? I have heard a few bad things about Undertaker, but they weren't from like main eventers. They were from undercard guys.
Nah, I'm not surprised.
They
Was it wrestler's court type shit?
Not just that, there was a match that he had with Kane against I think Chronic, and the match sucked. And the guys were like, the guys alleged that Taker was being an asshole with them. Allegedly, he was being a dick. That he shot down the idea to lose to Lesnar at Unforgiven in 2003. Um, Little things like that, but nothing egregious. Nothing on the level of like walking out, like what Austin did, or refusing to work with a top star, like what The Rock did, or nothing like that.
You know, I don't blame Austin for that walkout because I mean it is kind of stupid. Like, especially when you're trying to protect your character. Like, you're gonna have me lose to this guy for what? For no reason? Like, no
Unfor-
story, nothing.
Well, no. So the story goes was that he wasn't going to lose clean. Supposedly, Eddie Guerrero was going to interfere and cost Austin the match, and then they were going to have a match at King of the Ring, which sounds good to me.
That I've never heard. The only accounts I've ever heard were Austin in his interviews where he said that they called him up and they wanted him to lose to Lesnar.
Mhm.
And he's like, I'm not gonna just lose to anybody, like for no reason. Like if I'm gonna lose, like I want it to be worth something. and they didn't have a reason why he was gonna lose or if it was gonna evolve into anything. And he was like, fuck this shit.
If you go back, let me see. I believe it was what King of the Ring 2002. From what I understand, he was going to lose because of Eddie Guerrero. He was going to cost him the match. Then they were going to wrestle at King of the Ring. Guerrero was brought back specifically to wrestle Austin.
Yeah.
Um, as far as I'm aware, that was after Guerrero had been let go and came back, kind of proving that like, hey, I got over the drugs, I got over the issues, I want to wrestle again. Um, Again, supposedly that was the story, and because Austin walked out, Guerrero ended up wrestling Ric Flair at the event instead.
Wasn't that when Guerrero was wrestling in Ring of Honor against CM Punk and Rey Mysterio?
Afterwards, yeah, it was around that time. It was after he had been released due to the drug issues. He had left, got himself clean, found God, all that stuff. And the WWE were like, we're gonna have you on a short leash. We're gonna sign you on a short-term contract to see if you fuck up. If you don't, we'll go with you.
You know?
Which, sure enough, he did. Um, but yeah. So okay, there's two more left. One is dark, and one I kind of partially believe, if I'm being honest with you.
Go with the dark one.
Dark one for okay. Vince McMahon covered a murder for Jimmy Snuka
I've heard that one before.
that he like paid off the cops and stuff.
Something along those lines. I know it was about Jimmy Snuka. I know Jimmy Snuka was accused of murder, and there's a lot of probable cause that he was the one that did it.
Yeah.
Do you
So
think he did it?
yeah. Oh yeah. He alleged so that she died of internal bleeding, like hemorrhaging in the brain. She had,
Wasn't it like in a hotel room?
yeah. But the thing is, though, there were signs of abuse leading up to it. Like during the coroner's report, like he's like, she has healed fractures. Like these fractures were old. Like they're within the past year, 2 years. Like these fractures aren't new, but they're healed fractures. Like this woman's been beaten multiple times. This was not a one-time deal.
Yeah.
Um,
He's really going Rocky on her.
Pretty fucking much, man. It just
Da, 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 da.
Jesus,
Can
don't.
you stop throwing left hooks to my ribs?
No, I'm trying to get stronger. Uh, but yeah, supposedly Vince had built up Snuka. He was gonna have like a summer long program with Hogan, or maybe he was just going for the IC title. He was Vince had built him up to be a big star, right? He that was the same summer that he had that famous where he jumped from the top of the cage. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The famous one?
Yeah, so that was the same summer that happened. And Vince was like, I invest a lot of money in this guy. I can't have this happen. So he paid off the cops to destroy evidence and not charge Snuka. Supposedly.
I don't think Vince had enough money to pay off the cops to make a murder go away at that time.
Well, like the cops were like, all right, a grand, give us each $1,000 and we'll make it disappear. Because back then, a grand was a lot of money.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think Vince is that diabolical.
I like I think Vince would. Because think about it, man. This is around the time that he took over. He's killing all the other territories. I won't put it past him to like because Vince didn't murder anyone. He just made sure this guy could still wrestle. I didn't do anything wrong. I just offered them some cash. I didn't murder anybody.
I mean, Vince also lasted throughout the steroid trials.
That's true. And he's almost, but didn't really outlast sexual abuse allegations. So I mean,
I mean, was it sexual abuse or was it misappropriation of funds?
it. I mean, when your boss is like, "Sleep with me and I'll pay you money," you probably don't feel like you have a choice in the matter.
Why? She obviously was like, all right, fuck yeah, how much are you paying me?
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
I'm not. Because I'm pretty sure he fucking took the money.
But if you think that your job is being threatened if you say no, and this is the only job you can have,
I think everyone has a price tag. And once that price tag was bought, and then he was like, I don't want this anymore. That's when she's like, well, fuck this guy.
how Freddie, what's your price tag?
I don't know.
If Vince wanted you, how much would he have to pay for you?
Vince would not want me for starters.
He's into big meaty men.
Now, if Steph wanted me, whew.
No, Vince.
No,
You said you got a price. How much?
Vince is dead. Steph is at the head.
No, Vince.
I I'll even go Linda. We'll go Linda.
Oh God, this is getting into disgusting.
For Linda to have me, salary, cool 10 million a year.
Let's see, Linda McMahon.
Actually, you know what? Linda, realistically, I'd say a mil or 750,000 to a mil a year
Why are you going down?
for a 10-year contract. Being realistic, dude, I'm not a 10. I'm like a 7 at best.
God damn.
And I'm talking longevity here. 750. I want a 10-year guaranteed contract where I don't have to work shit. Yeah.
Brandon, you got problems. You got more problems than I can handle.
Why? You wouldn't take 750 guaranteed dough for 10 years.
Am I married or am I single?
I don't know. How does Nikki feel about this? You don't love her. Not Nikki, the fucking bitch. Linda.
I think Nikki said that the price, I think, is like, she said 23 mil a year.
Well, Nikki needs to be realistic because if I'm a 7, you're a 5.
I don't know, man. I don't know. My style says I'm probably a 9.
Your style says fucking no.
Shit. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna wait. Okay. So do you think Vince paid off the cops? I'm gonna say yes. What do you think?
Do I think he paid off the cops for Jimmy Snuka? No. Do I think he's paid off the cops before? Yes.
Oh, definitely. At some point, he has to. But I do think he paid them off for Snuka. All right. Last one, and this is the one I slightly believe, and I'll explain myself. That Daniel Bryan's fake retirement. Essentially, the conspiracy theory is that Bryan was cleared to wrestle, but Vince instructed the doctors not to clear him so that he could push Roman Reigns.
I would say that there's some plausibility behind that because I mean wasn't Bryan cleared for a good while after that?
So Bryan was cleared for a while by other doctors. So he did experimental treatments, neck treatments, neck workouts, all this kind of stuff to rehab his neck, right?
Uh-huh.
Other neurologists cleared him. Other neck doctors cleared him. Other back doctors cleared him, right? Every other doctor would fucking clear him.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the one doctor that works for WWE, whose job it is to clear talent. He would not clear Bryan. Bryan, if you notice, only started wrestling right around the time that I want to say All In was announced. Like it was on the horizon. Bryan made it very clear, hey, I will fucking walk and I will wrestle for Ring of Honor or New Japan. Like if you don't let me wrestle, I'll wait out my contract. I'll be a good boy and wait out my contract, but then I will fucking walk. WWE backed into a corner, didn't want Bryan to leave and give New Japan or TNA or Ring of Honor that boost. So, guys, he's cleared. It's a fucking miracle.
I mean, I think there is some plausibility that Vince didn't want him back. Um, I think out of most of those conspiracy theories, I think this one has probably the most legs.
I'm inclined to agree, man. I wouldn't put Vince past the idea of like, hey, Doc, you know how you're our official doctor and I'm paying you 2 mil a year? This dude never gets cleared. Capiche? And you're paying me 2 mil a year. Yeah, you bet your ass that guy ain't never getting cleared.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was this bit of an odd episode. It's been a slow news week. We'll have a lot more to talk about the next time we do 11 count, I'm sure. Especially post Rumble. But
We
yeah,
got one more week, or no, this
this
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah, this weekend's the Rumble.
And then they should start shaping out Elimination Chamber in between then. So
Adrenaline in my soul. Something, something cold in my road.
Rollins. But yeah,
That was
you
fun.
want
Going
to?
to Royal Rumble last year.
That's right. Oh yeah, that's right. We went to the Rumble last year. Fuck. And we're
Yeah.
going to an AEW Collision show in about 2 weeks.
We lost our voices. I lost my voice.
I lost my mind.
I lost my voice. That was a good day.
And
Who would have thought we saw Bray Wyatt's last match
that was nuts. That was nuts.
against LA Knight?
Of all fucking people.
Like LA Knight when he was still kind of like, oh, like what is this guy gonna be?
We're still coming up.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, fucking Bray Wyatt dead.
Do you remember when the crowd was chanting "Fuck you, Roman"? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Dude, the commentator, I think you showed me the video where the commentators are like, they stop talking and they're just listening. And you
Yeah,
can,
Pat McAfee's looking around like, holy shit.
dude, San Antonio was nuclear pissed for that. I'm
Mm,
glad. I'm proud of San Antonio. Fuck yeah.
that was a good end.
They had a really weird stage design though, where like they were blowing up the fireworks on like the other side.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what they did. Like the flashes happen inside,
Yeah.
but like the pops and shit are like a controlled explosion.
So here's the thing, man, and I've been to other pay-per-views and stuff, like a handful, right? Like at the AT&T Center in San Antonio or the one in Corpus. The pyro was at the stage. That is the first time I've ever seen pyro not at the stage where it's at. That
I
was
think
weird.
I think for me, the only thing I wish is that if WWE would bring back the fucking stages, man.
Apparently they're cutting costs. That's another news story, man.
I'm not surprised, but I'm just like,
No, like they're penny pitching everything. Like they're cutting back on everything. If you're not 100% necessary, you're gone. They're thinking about going down to one ref a fucking show. That's how bad it is.
that's what I think is. I mean, I'm like, why are you penny pitching so hard? Like, fuck, man. That's what I love watching about the old, uh, like the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression era pay-per-views is that they had the stages, like they were fun, like and shit. Like the Royal Rumble one that we were at was so fucking plain and boring.
Yeah. There was nothing special about it. Do you remember
Yeah, it was just a fucking hole that they popped out of, and that was it.
the stage for Armageddon 2000?
Yes.
Bunch of fucking cars and forklifts, and they're just like, fuck it, go have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I miss that. There was one where they had a fucking tank. I remember that. There was a Money in the Bank where they had like one of those actual like money trucks. I think
Oh yeah.
a guy off of one. Like
Yes.
those are cool at the very least, man. Something different.
Yeah, but now they're cheap as shit.
All right, you want to head us out?
Let's do this. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the 11 count, where we stop and talk and bitch about wrestling. Thank you for joining us on our conspiracy theory episode. Next week, we will finally, we actually planned this out. We are finally getting to the Montreal Screwjob, the long-awaited episode. I know that you all been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it because that is my favorite one. And we are finally making time to get to it. But yes, thank you for joining us for the 11 count. I'm Fernie.
I've been Eddie.
Let's ring the bell.